Alright, so here is a very important lesson. This would be topic 8 in chapter 7. Definitely you're going to use this a lot in the rest of your mathematical career. It's going to be super important for the next chapter as well, that you understand what we're doing here. So, notice that this says we're doing two methods of multiplying. You can do whichever one you prefer. I really like the box method because the next chapter, when we use this same kind of idea, the box method will make our solutions very, if you understand the box method, it'll be very easy to obtain your solution. So, one's called FOIL, and this is an acronym that stands for first, outer, inner, last. So what that means is we're multiplying here. Really what we're distributing. If we had just a 2 here, then we would multiply 2 by each of those things, right? And then if we had just an x, we would multiply x by both of those things and get 2 results, right? So now, what we're doing is we're distributing. We're going to multiply a 2 by both of those things and multiply the x by both of those things. We're going to get 4 resulting products that we then add together any like terms. Okay, so the first means you multiply the first things in both packets, both parentheses. So that gives me an x squared. Outer, oops, there's already an O there. Outer means we multiply the things on the outside, so the x and the negative 3. Right, the negative goes with the 3, so that's a negative 3x. Then inner, so we multiply the 2 inner pieces, 2 times x. And then last, so we multiply the last things. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. And then at the end, we make sure if there's any like terms, we combine them. Here we have an x and an x. They both have an exponent of 1, right? So then we can combine those like terms. Gives us x squared. Negative 3x plus 2x is minus x minus 6. Beautiful, done. That is our final answer for this. The box method is just going to use a box, and I'm not going to put it there, I'll put it over here. And what we're going to do is put the products, or the things we're multiplying rather, on the top and the side. So if we had 2 things, top and side. And since it's 2 terms, that's why there's 2 boxes. If this was an x minus 3 plus x squared instead, then we would have a third box so that we could write 3 terms by 2 terms. Right? 3 terms by 2 terms. But we don't, so I'm just going to do the problem that's here. It does not matter whether I put the x plus 2 on the top or the side. I'm going to put the x plus 2 on the top. Then x minus 3. X, and this negative goes with the minus 3, or the 3, so I put that there. Now, the box method says we just multiply anything that lines up in a row or a column. So x and x line up. That gives us an x squared. And then we have x and a 2 line up in this box, so that gives us a 2x if we multiply. We've got an x times a negative 3, so that gives us 3x, whoops, negative 3x, that's important. And then 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. Alright, now what we do is just add all these like terms and keep in mind what sign these things have here. So that gives us x squared minus 3x plus 2x minus 6. Combine like terms gives us x squared minus x minus 6. If you're clever, you can notice right off the bat that you know you're going to be adding these. So you see the negative 3x and the positive 2x, and you see that right away they're like terms. You can skip this step and just go straight to that. That's fine. There's our final answer. So let me do this one more time just to show you, and yeah, so just so you have another example, and then there'll be a few U-tries here for you. So we got the FOIL method. So first is x squared, outer x times 5, inner, which is 3 times x, and last. like terms are right here. So I get x squared plus 8x plus 15. Alright, just as a heads up, in our next chapter, we're going to be starting with something like this and ending like that. So this is called multiplying. When we factor, it's when you start with this and end with the parentheses. Alright, but that's next chapter. But you got to understand this to be able to do the next chapter. So again, nothing goes here. I can put my x, my plus 3 here. I always put the plus or the minus next to it. That way I always put the sign. So if there's a minus, I don't forget the minus. That's the one that'll screw us up. So x plus 5. These line up. We get an x squared, x times 5, x times 3, and 5 times 3. These are our like terms. So that's going to give us x squared plus 3x plus 5x, which is an 8x plus 15. Alright, if this seems pretty easy, it is. If it seems tough, then maybe try watching the video again or watch Mrs. Hartman's, or make sure you touch base with me before class, because we'll make it real easy for you. Alright, a couple more examples. This one's a key one here. Pay attention to this one, okay? So far they've always just been x's. Now it's a 2x. It's no problem. Same exact rules. So we can 2x minus 3, x plus 1. So 2x times x is a 2x squared. Remember, these are multiples. When you have parentheses next to each other, you're multiplying. So remember, I'm multiplying here. One common mistake that students will make is they'll accidentally add these. Do not do that, please. X times negative 3 is a negative 3x. 2x plus 1. Whenever I tell you what common mistakes are, make sure you're very cognizant to remember that. I would maybe even write that on the side over here. Alright, because I've seen lots of students do this. If I'm warning you about a mistake, make sure you don't make those same silly mistakes. Our like terms are this and this. So that gives us 2x squared plus 2x minus 3x results in a minus x, and then minus 3. Simplified as much as possible. There's no more like terms to combine. Now here, what does this exponent mean? That means we're multiplying x minus 4, actually, means whatever's in these parentheses, it's that times itself. Okay? Guaranteed, you will definitely see one of these on every assessment that we give you that involves factoring or multiplying binomials. Alright? Guaranteed to see these. Do not mess this up, okay? I'm telling you right now. So x minus 4, x minus 4. The common mistake, the thing not to do, don't do this. But the thing that most people do is just square the x and then square the 4 and then think that's their answer. But that's not it. Okay? What you do is the squared means you multiply this packet times itself, which I've written out here. Once you write it out like this, you should be home free. So I did the box here. I'll do the FOIL method here. We get x times x is x squared. X times negative 4 is negative 4x. Negative 4 times x is negative 4x. Negative 4 times negative 4 is a positive 16, right? Because it's a negative times a negative. Now we combine any like terms, and that gives us x squared. These combine to a negative 8x minus 4 and minus another 4 plus 16. There we go. That's the result. Any questions, write them down on the side so you don't forget to ask them at the beginning of the class. And here are your U-tries. There's several, but they should go pretty quick. Remember what not to do or how to do this kind. Alright? Have a great day. See you next class.
Lower blade speed. So now we can really see a comparison. Well, first hit.
That was perfect.
A little bit different.
That's why we have program cycles. Yep. Lets everything drop down in front of the blade.
It's not only the variable speed, but the single blade design that enhances blending performance.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh, wait till our engineers see this.
This blade can spin at